to Northside LDN. Caramba, we are back. The semi-finalists here. The semi-finalists. We've got Dej, the semi-finalists in the Europa League. You can already see him right there. You know what I'm saying? Looking like Don Carlo, looking like Don Perignon. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like $1 million right now. I feel like $1 million. Talk to me.
Welcome back, familiar. Listen. Normally in this show, the first episode of Nutmeg Rush, normally we've got VAR moments, but we're all through to the semi-finals. Big up to Tony Claude as well in the building. All the panels links to their channels are in the title, in the description. So big up to everyone. Make sure you're subscribing to the panel. Dej, let's go with you right now. You got the shades on right now. You're looking real cool.
I can leave them on, yeah. Thank you, bro.
Get your stunner shades on. Legit.
Legit.
What are you saying, Dej? Yeah, you beat Frankfurt 1-0. What are you saying, man? You confident?
Bro, at the end of the day, let me just keep it real 100, yeah? There's a lot of things I need to say, and I need to say it out now. Look, I wasn't confident about beating Frankfurt. I do feel like, although competitions are different to the league, the truth of the matter is Spurs have been really dusty in the league. So I was pleasantly surprised. I was thinking like yesterday was going to be like death row, walking for the inevitable. The fact that Tottenham played the best football that I've seen them play so far this season, the fact that we got through Frankfurt, I was relieved, I was happy, I'm overjoyed. Because of that, I was even ready to bury the beef between us, to say, you know what, let bygones be bygones. You win the Champions League, let me win the Europa, and let's bad you up in Italy. But some of you, man, don't really want to face my club in Italy. Do you know what I'm saying? The truth is, though, bro, Tottenham was the bookies' favourite before Frankfurt to win the Europa League. And I'm not disrespecting Bodo. I think Bodo, what an amazing achievement for them to get past Lazio. But I just have to keep it 100 with you. Their capacity in their stadium is 8,000. Bro, there's more fans on one side of the Tottenham stadium than what they have as a whole stadium. And also the glitz and the glam, the lights is going to be too bright for their eyelids. Also, they might see pictures of Beyonce in the corridor. So it's long for them to come to my club. You know what I mean? It's really, really long. And then we got a situation of playing either Athletic Bilbao or playing Man United or Piccadilly. Now, we all know that Piccadilly has been absolutely woeful, shameless. What a shameless bunch of team and a shameless bunch of fans to shake their bum when they know that Lyon player should not have been sent off. The only thing that worries me is I wouldn't want to play United in the final. They know how to win. We ain't been in the final since the Champions League, so it's long for us. So I wouldn't want to play them. But I'm not afraid of any of the teams left. Bilbao, Bodo, like it's not playing at Inter Milan. It's not a Juventus. You know what I mean? It's not an AC. It's not a name that really should be giving my club any problem. So yeah, I'm quietly confident, but I feel like one thing a brother in my chat, Jay Greens, always talks about, he says football's a humbler. And I've been humbled, bro, by this season. To see the level of dust that's come my way through where my club is in the league. I'm not going to say that it's a foregone conclusion, but it would be a good look. It would be a good look for my club to get to the final. It would be a good look for London. I'm ready to put the beef aside for a couple of weeks and see London clubs dominate. But if you, man, want to go on the hating thing, then I'm quite happy for calamity to be bestowed onto your club. And that's where I'm at.
What do you say about this, Tony? Yeah, because man is saying he's very confident now. He beat Frankfurt, a dusty club in Deji's own words. He's saying he doesn't respect Bilbao, that are fourth in La Liga. He doesn't respect Bilbao, but he respects Frankfurt, but he don't respect Bilbao. Then he's saying, yo, Man United is the only one that he fears, bro. What do you make of it? Do you think it's too much chest from Deji, or what do you make of this?
No, actually, I think that's so much chest from him. I mean, coming from a guy who has actually lost to Wolves, this season, lost to Chelsea,
Leicester.
I mean, he's lost. I mean, lost to Everton, lost to who again? Ipswich. They lose against Ipswich. I mean, see the numbers. I mean, the numbers keep going. Yeah, I mean, the numbers are large. You guys, are almost. Bro, have they lost almost up to 20 games this season already? Is it up to 20? Not side. It should be 19, 18, something in those numbers. Right, Deji? Oh, how dare you have chest? I mean, guys, see, man, I mean, I've been battling. I mean, Northside knows that. I mean, I came down here to the channel, battled a Real Madrid fan. I mean, that's how I've been battling almost drunk people. I mean, Deji is not a drunkard, actually. But, I mean, I've been battling a lot of drunk people. But these are drunk statements coming from Deji Sports. How can you say you have chest because you faced a pseudo team like Eintracht Frankfurt? Are you serious? Week in, week out in the Premiership, you lose against these boo-hoo YouTube teams. How dare you have chest against all this? I mean, okay, good. What position are Eintracht Frankfurt in the German Bundesliga? I mean, they're not doing quite well. I mean, they don't have anything to literally fear anyone. I mean, they've not won the German Bundesliga. Neither have they even won any of the games in recent seasons in Germany. So that's a shadow team. So come talk to me when you pitched against a team like Athletic Bilbao. In fact, I'm shocked that you're not saying that you're afraid of a team like Athletic Bilbao. Why are you not afraid of teams like that? I mean, those are the kind of teams you should be afraid of. You shouldn't be having chest in this type of scenario because week out you lose the Premiership. What informs you? You know, what gives you that chest that you're gonna win this game?
Let him reply.
What gives you that chest that you're gonna win this game? I mean, see, Sports, see, you don't have the numbers, and you know what? Yeah, you don't have the numbers. You were just saved by Solanke. You were just saved by Solanke. You know what, people? Yeah, I don't want to hear anyone chatting. Yeah, if you're not in the European Champions League, I don't want to see you have chest. If you're not in the European Champions League, winning against elite teams, I don't care about your numbers. You, man, are my youngest. So then you stay in your lane. I would respect you for just saying, okay, good. I went down to the semi-final. I'm good. I'm okay. I get that. No problem. But don't mouth off here, man. Don't mouth off. Don't mouth off here.
Let him reply. So let him reply. Go on,
right. There's a couple of things that I need to deal with, yeah? And I can see why Tony's getting chest because he was one of the brothers that said that you guys were going to beat Madrid. The truth of the matter is, everybody knows, including me, I said before the Madrid game that I expected Arsenal to do something against Madrid. One, because Arsenal seemed to have found their rhythm. The other thing was that Madrid hasn't been convincing this season. Now, can I just say that this man, Tony, is trying to poo-poo the fact that Frankfurt are third in the table. They are third in the Bundesliga, so hold that, bro. Yeah, hold that. And you're not going to tell me about Athletic Bilbao. What I'm telling you is this, and you said this to me, Tony, let me remind you. You said if Tottenham wins the Europa League and Arsenal does not win a trophy this season, Tottenham's had a better season. So why are you starting the conversation telling me about what doesn't matter? At the moment, it doesn't matter if Tottenham lose 25 games this season. If they win the Europa League and you don't win a trophy, Tottenham's had a better season. So hold that. Now, the bit that I'm trying to make you aware of, because you like to do this little delusional thing, even though I told you that I knew you was going to beat Madrid. I said to Northside earlier, I was ready to squash the beef. But if you don't want to come for my throat, I'm going to take your head off. Let me tell you why. The truth of the matter is Tottenham is more likely to win the Europa League than you, man, win the Champions League. Also, I called you guys Spicy Spurs, Red Tottenham, Scotch Bonnet FC, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Because at the end of the day, you, man, look good, but you end up doing what Tottenham is doing. For example, you're in the semi-final in Europe. I'm in a semi-final in Europe. Hold that, player. If you win your trophy, you're in the Champions League.
Northside, are you gonna sit down and listen to
I'm in the Champions League, baby. That's right. So don't talk to me. What I'm now moving towards is, are you gonna meet me in Italy on the August the 13th? That's what I want to know. Are you gonna be there? Are you gonna be there, bro? Are you gonna be playing my club for the Super Cup? Have some chest.
Oh. Northside. I mean, Northside. I mean, I mean, Dickie Spurs. I mean, we have to deal with him in this community, right? I mean, we have to deal with this delusional statement. I mean, all the time, from time to time. I do get that, yeah. I mean, he comes down here, yeah. I mean, he throws a big tantrum, says that they are already in the semi-finals. I hear you.
Yeah, no,
but again, there's still some other teams. But no, sincerely, I still think there's some other teams that would give you, you know, I mean, that will give you a run for your money. I think Man United are slightly better than you.
Who's better than Man
I've just told you that Man United are a more better team than you. They have more structure than you. They have more organization than you. Defensively, they're more better. You've conceded more goals this season, bro. With about more 2 games, you'd be in up to nearly 20 games lost this season. Bro, that's not good enough in any quarter.
Apologies. I don't know what happened there. Apologies.
Bro, in any quarter, if you're losing 18, 19 games in a season, your team is crap. Your team is crap. Bro, I don't see in any way, in any alternative universe, where you beat Man United to that European League title. I don't think so.
Can I ask the question, Tony? Please, I beg you. You guys have only lost 3 games this season. If you don't win a trophy, are you great?
What do you mean, Deji? I'm in the semi-finals of an elite European competition. No, let's get that right. No, Deji Sports. Let's get that right. I'm in the semi-finals of an elite European championship. I'm not in the European League. Don't merge us together. We're not caught. We're not caught.
Bro,
out of the same club. We're different.
Tony, please answer the questions that I throw at you. You said Tottenham aren't great because of all the games that we lost in the league, despite the fact that we could win the Europa League.
Isn't that a fact? Isn't that a fact?
If you guys have only lost 3 games this season, if you don't win the Champions League, are you a great team? Yes or no?
Now, there's so many perspectives to that. Arsenal is a great football club. So what are you talking about? We're the 3rd largest team in the league. What are you talking about? We've won lots of trophies. This is a great football club. So you have to restructure that question. Restructure it.
Answer the question.
Restructure the question.
No. If you don't win the Champions League, which is possible, I'm asking you a legit question. You've only lost 3 games.
Yeah, now you structure it more better. Because Arsenal has always been a better, greater club.
Are you a great team? Yes or no? I'm using your logic on you, bro.
What? Wait, bro. See, if we don't win a title this season, yeah, problems have always plagued my football club. Yet we've not won the league in about 20 odd seasons or so. But I mean, this season we could claim the big one. I mean, don't you sit down there and act as if Arsenal is not on the verge. See, they're just paused. We're just 2 wins away. We are just 2 wins away from win.
Let me just pause. Tony, he asked you a question. Answer the question, yeah? Answer the question. Let's be fair. If you pose him a question, he has to answer it as well. He can't go in the long monologue. Just answer that question, then we can get on to the next topic. Yeah. He asked you, Tony, if Arsenal don't win the Champions League, are we a great team? Please answer the question.
Based on what he threw to me, by the way, I'm only using his logic on me. I'm using his own logic on him.
Deji, what was your question?
If Arsenal don't win the Champions League, are we a great team?
Why would we be a great team when we've not won? I mean, the big one yet. Why would we? In that context, he's using it. For me, Arsenal have always been a great club, yeah. But a great team this season, no. Unless we win the Champions League, we have to win the big one. If we don't win the big one, we're not a great team. But again, this sports, I still have to go back to the context that you don't want me to say. Not side. I will still go back to the context that you don't want me to say.
Hey.
Guys, if Arsenal wins this Champions League this season, I mean, you have to admit it overshadows the Europa League. it will actually overshadow what Liverpool will do this season. Yeah.
Can I
Winning the
question?
Premier League. It will outshadow every damn thing.
Can I give context to that?
It's a big one.
Would you allow me 1 minute to give context to that? Would that be okay?
Yeah, sure, definitely. We're going back and forth. No
I disagree that if Arsenal wins the Champions League, it overshadows Spurs. Let me tell you why. If Arsenal wins the Champions League and Tottenham win the Europa League, then you guys have maintained what I've been calling you guys from the start of the season. You man are just a spicy Spurs. And at the end of the day, in August the 13th, I will see you, Northside, and all the other Arsenal cronies down in Udinese there in Italy for guess what? Another trophy, the Super Cup. So you winning the Champions League only overshadows Tottenham if Tottenham does not win the Europa League. And the other question I want to put to you is, if Tottenham wins the Europa League and you don't win Champions League, has Tottenham had a better season than you? Because you made a big deal about losing 17 or 20 times. I want to know, does the Europa League trump your achievements this season if you don't win the league?
That you have not achieved anything this season. Let's get that correctly. In as much as we want to battle, I'm also a very sensible fan. We haven't won anything. We haven't won the league. We haven't won anything. If you win the Europa League, it trumps my season. I agree to that. I'm a sensible fan. But you can't sit down here and tell me if you win the Europa League and I win the Champions League, that your season trumps mine. How? In what way? I'm second in the league. I'm second in the league, battling with injuries all across the pitch, battling with suspensions, battling with referee decisions, harsh, bad referee decisions. Not are we gonna sit down here and act as if referees hasn't taken away 12 to 10 points away from our season? I mean, are you gonna sit down here and tell me that?
Where I agree with you, Tony, I agree that if they win Europa League, if Spurs win the Europa League and Arsenal don't win Champions League, they've had a better season than us because they've won a trophy. If Spurs win Europa League and Arsenal win the Champions League, both have had successful seasons. I would still say Arsenal's is more successful because it's a bigger trophy. Yeah. So that is what it is for me. Both of us to even meet in the Super Cup, we both have to win our competition. So really and truly, we just need to mind our own business and get over the line.
Not side. I clearly disagree with you, not side on that one. Ours will trump them in a bigger way. If we win the Champions League, it totally, I mean, the way you put it there, it was too polite to take his sports. We completely trumped them in a very huge way. You know what? Yeah, this season we've been battling with serious injuries to serious players in our team, not side. You can't deny not side. We don't have a striker. We don't have a striker. Yet we are in the semi-finals of a Champions League. Not side. Make that make sense.
Wait,
not side. Make that make sense. Just be honest. Not side. I want you to be honest.
Let me be honest.
Just be honest. We don't have Gabriel Jesus in this team.
Let me be honest.
Our crop striker in Kai Havertz, who I don't respect at all, but is the guy down there, is injured.
Hold on. Tony, hold on. Yeah? I just said you disagreed, but then agreed with me. I just said if Spurs win Europa and Arsenal win Champions League, yeah, it's still, to me, more a success on Arsenal side because it's just Champions League. Yeah. And I put the Champions League above the Europa League. Yeah. Then you're going on about referee decisions, yeah? Then you're going on about injuries. Well, if we're going to talk about injuries, the reason that we had the injuries is because your manager was playing players injured instead of rotating the squad that he built. Sounds like a him problem. Your manager didn't go out there and get the players that we needed. Somebody to actually compete with Saka, to not run Havertz down to the ground, to not play Ben White injured. You know what I'm saying? And actually rest him and utilize the defensive players that we've got when we've got so many defensive players on the bench. So the whole injury thing for me, the fact that Saka got injured and everything, that's all been down to Arteta's poor management or lack of trust on the players on the bench that he's brought to the team. So that's not an excuse. The second one, in terms of refereeing decisions, everybody gets judged with the same referees. No club is completely happy with the referee decisions, and you have to get over the line. When you look at the games that we dropped points to this season, yeah, there was a lot of games. Newcastle we lost 3 times. Are you going to tell me that's because of VAR or referees? No, it's because Arteta wasn't able to get to figure out Newcastle, and that's why they kicked us out the cup and they beat us 3 times this season. It's got nothing to do about referees. And Saka was out with one of them, so we had basically everybody barring Saka in one of the games. When we lost to Man United, that had nothing to do with referees. Yeah, we lost fair and square. Second half, we didn't do anything to change the game, and they were running the whole show in the second half in the cup, and we got eliminated. Fulham, we drew against Fulham. We only had Saliba and Partey out. Don't tell me it's about referees. This club should be, this team and this squad, if they're as great as they are, we should be able to get over the line against Fulham. Drawing against Villa as well. We only had Ben White and Saka and Partey out. We should have enough. If the bench is fixed, which I keep hearing every year, every time we go into the transfer window, we should be able to get over the line against Villarreal, against Aston Villa, and we drew. Everton, why did we lose that game? We had Partey and Ben White out. We should have more than enough on this bench if people gas this team up to get over the line against Everton. Bournemouth, we got slapped up 2-0. Slapped up 2-0. Do you know what I'm saying? We should be able to deal with that. So Chelsea, we drew. We had a full squad. So I'm not really hearing the excuses, bro, because at the end of the day, when you look at this team, why is it that we've taken so long to figure out that Declan Rice is our best set piece taker? Why is it taking so long to figure out that Moreno's our best striker? He's better than Kai Havertz. And what he offers is better than Kai Havertz, and he's playing out of position. So props to Moreno. Why is it that it took so long to play Zinchenko or Ethan in the 10 in the league when Odegaard is putting poor performances? Bro, we have not done enough in the league, which is why we're in a situation where we are. In January, we're all calling out for a clinical goal scorer. We didn't do that. And then now Liverpool going to win the league fairly and squarely. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really hearing the excuses. What I will say is that us getting to where our position that we are in the Champions League, we warrant that. I think the team deserves a lot of praise in terms of dealing with Real Madrid over 2 ties. They did what I didn't expect them to do. And the rest is all excuses, bro. Like, we should have built the team better. The manager should have learned how to figure out playing his team a lot better. And you should have utilized the bench that he created. I'm not really listening to the excuses, bro. It's 5 years down the process, done a project, bro. I'm not really hearing the excuses, bro. I'll be real with you.
Not side. You missed. I didn't want to cut you. I didn't want to cut in when you were saying all that stuff. Yeah, so it wouldn't seem maybe like I'm cutting into what you're saying. Well, I was talking about stuff in context to what Deji said about their European League win, potentially European League win, overshadowing our Champions League win. Everything you've said, I say it on my channel. I do criticize this football club. I do criticize the manager. I know the manager hasn't recruited better. He has wasted our funds. Northside, I want this manager out. That resonates with you. More times I've criticized this club, our recruitment, our manager, and his style of play. But one thing I want you to understand that what I was talking about injuries wasn't in question of why aren't we winning the Premiership. It's on what the Sports said about comparing our Europa League potential win and our Champions League potential win. I'm saying ours will be far more better and far more sweeter, considering the fact that we are playing with our major players being injured this season. Kai Havertz still remains a major player in this team. He has scored the highest goals. He has the highest goal tally from our attackers this season, by let's say maybe Bukayo Saka. He has outscored almost everyone. And we have him injured. We have Gabriel Jesus injured. At times this season, we've had Saliba off. This season, Gabriel is off this season. That's a henchman at the back and also a potential captain, of this football club that we've had out. And you know what? Yeah, I've also talked about refereeing decisions. Referees have been harsh to us this season. I won't lie about that. Many of you guys know it deep in your heart that refereeing decisions have cost Arsenal lots of goals. I mean, we've seen it. They've cost us lots of games. We've seen it over and over again. Even big time podcasters, I'm talking in big channels or whatever. They've analyzed it. They've seen it. They've got the stats. They've seen it. This season alone, referees have chunked away 10 points away from the Arsenal this season, and that's a fact. We've seen it. The Declan Rice red card. It wasn't supposed to be a red card. No, it wasn't. Miles Lewis Kelly getting a red, given a penalty to Everton. No, that wasn't a red card. How can we sit down here and say that those were in red card, those were in potential refereeing decisions that actually derailed our season too as a contributory factor? We did mess up. We didn't recruit that. We didn't bring in a striker. We didn't bring in a cover for Bukayo Saka. That's on point. Those are facts. But we cannot extricate the fact that refereeing decisions are part of a bigger problem in this league.
Okay,
we do know it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think both are contributing factors. I hear that. Deji, what are you saying? What were you saying in rebuttal to that?
First of all, Tony, can you actually hear me? Because sometimes you're on this kind of waffling thing that you do, and I'm trying to cut you. Do you hear me?
I hear you, man. Right. But you waffle better than me.
You're in danger. You're in danger of looking like a legit waffle. And let me tell you why you're in danger of looking like a waffle. I think, in my limited knowledge of your club, I know more about your team than you do. You've just been waxed lyrical.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you, you've been waxed lyrical for 4 minutes on 29 on Havertz. And I'm going to ask you this question, and this will determine how I deal with you for the rest of this show.
That's a lie. I didn't waffle on that.
Who would you prefer to play the number 9? Havertz or Mourinho? Okay, you can't answer the question.
I'll put a Merino there. If it's me, I'll put a Merino there.
Why are you waxing lyrical about Havertz then?
I didn't see, guys. Everything is just. You're just regurgitating what pseudo podcasters say. I didn't say any of all these things you're saying.
Anyway, let me just.
Now I'll take you back to that Kai Havertz thing. The Kai Havertz thing I was talking about.
Let him land, because he's only bringing it up because every show, Tony, to be fair, you do always bring up Kai Havertz. And he just said it. Fan that continuously always bringing up Kai Havertz.
He just said it as well. I listened to him.
But let him land.
Havertz has scored the most goals for us so far this season, and he's not available. That narrative, blah blah. That's what he just said. I heard you. I was listening. I was listening, bro. Like, I want to clarify a couple of things. I didn't say that Tottenham season trumps Arsenal season if we both win a trophy. I said that if we both win a trophy, it confirms that you men are spicy Spurs. You guys are a better version of Tottenham. That's what spicy Spurs mean, if you didn't know. You guys do exactly what Tottenham do. There's not much of a difference between us. And I'm right. Let me break it down to you. If you win the Champions League, you're in the Champions League next season, and you've won a trophy. If I win the Europa League, I've won a trophy, and I'm in the Champions League. Yes, your one carries more weight, but on the face of it, we have had pretty similar seasons. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not poo-pooing your achievements.
We don't have similar seasons. I'm sorry, that's an utter disrespect. We don't have similar seasons. I've only lost 3 games. You're on your way to get up to 20 lost games this season. We're cut from a different cloth. We're not the same. Deji Spurs. Not that it really matters, yeah, but I'm currently second in the league. We're different. You're far apart. We're totally different. I'm in the Champions League where I'm beating teams like PSG. I'm smashing up teams like Real Madrid, home and away, even in the Bernabeu. Something you fail to do when you're in the Champions League. I'm doing all these things here this season.
You haven't done nothing yet.
And I'm very sure you're shocked about this thing. You're shocked about it. And the thing there is that if we go on to win this Champions League, yeah, I mean, that song we used to sing for Arsenal, you guys, Chelsea fans, about we not going to win the Champions League. Well, we'll see what's going to happen this season, because the biggest threat, I've just been completely embarrassed by Arsenal this season. So let's see. We've actually progressed in the Champions League. We've digressed in the league this season. Yeah? Last season, we got about 89 points. This season, we're languishing in 60-something points. That's a total downgrade. But you know what? Yeah, we've improved in the Champions League. We've beaten elite teams this season. We've beaten the German Invincibles. We went down to Lisbon, smacked up Lisbon down there, 5-something. We smashed up PSG and we're meeting them in the semis. Guys, you know the answer. I don't respect any of this. By the way, Deji Spurs, if you ask me, I don't respect. In fact, I throw disrespect on any of all these European teams. I'm going to smash all these European teams apart from Inter Milan that I really do respect. So, Deji Sports, I mean, get your clips ready because Arsenal is on the verge of winning the Champions League. I'm not saying it because I have chest. I'm saying it because I believe it and I see what these other teams bring to the table. Any other team apart from Inter Milan, where I would sit down and watch the final, any other European team will be smacked up by this Arsenal team, even without a striker. How about that?
Deji, what do you make of that? Let Deji come in now. Deji, what do you make of that? Tony keeps saying this. The last time we spoke as well, Deji, Tony said this as well. He doesn't fear anyone apart from Inter Milan. So he feels that if we was to face Barcelona in the final, because obviously we've got PSG, it's Barca Inter. He reckons we'll smack up Barca. I personally don't. I don't agree with that, bro. I feel like Barca can smack us up, bro. I can't even lie.
I disagree with Tony. One thing that I've got to realize about Tony over the years is that I think when he decides to shout, he thinks that he's making a point. And so I've just laid that land. I'm letting that land. And let me tell you, the truth of the matter is, I think that Arsenal team, this doesn't mean you won't win it, but on paper, I think it's the weakest team in the last four. That's the weakest link in the last four for me, that Arsenal team, yeah? Now, I think if Barcelona play Arsenal, I think Arsenal could get slapped up terribly. I think PSG have got a lot of questions. They're going to ask a lot of questions of your club. And I really don't see how this Arsenal team breaks down a formidable defensive unit as Inter Milan. But hey, I'm actually more of a positive. I would like you guys to win and to meet you, man, in Italy. Like, I would love it that both our clubs are going for the Super Cup. But if I'm being real, I think it would be delusional to think that Arsenal have more of a chance of winning the Champions League than Spurs have winning the Europa League. We know that cup form has got nothing to do with league form. We know this. Look at the thing, bro. Dortmund is like 8th or 9th. Dortmund's like 8th or 9th in the Bundesliga, and yet they made it to the quarterfinals and they had a good go of it against Barcelona. So league form means nothing when it comes to cup runs. I've heard that thing before, and I've heard it again.
I agree with you on that one.
So for me, I can't see it. I don't need to see it, and I hope for Tony's sake that you guys deliver, because if you don't deliver, Tony, it's going to affect you in so many ways. I think you may lose 1,000 subscribers, and I think the amount of impact that you get to channels might reduce as well. I'm just saying, be careful what you say, bro.
That's the thing, yeah.
No. See, Deji, no. I mean, not side.
Hold on a sec, Tony. Yeah, I agree with Josh here that I actually believe Tony is correct. Stylistically, Barca and PSG don't have this defensive structure that Arsenal have. Inter's wing-back system with the two up top will cause Arsenal a real headache. I agree in terms of style, but at the same time, we still have to keep them out, bro. Like Rafinha's cooking, Yamal's cooking, Lewandowski's in the chip in with goals. And I think Pedri as well in that midfield, they got some ballers, bro, individuals that can get them over the line, even though I don't think in terms of the way that they play is the biggest problem. I do think Inter will be our toughest out of all of them. I do agree in that aspect, but I can't overlook Barcelona. I can't. The way that they're playing, I'm not even overlooking PSG, and I think Barcelona are better than PSG. You know what I'm saying? So I get the styles, but I also think the individuals that Barca have are that level above PSG.
So are you saying you're third?
Well, plus
are you the third strongest team?
What did you say?
So we're gonna sit down here. So we're gonna sit down here and act as if Aston Villa didn't nearly come back against PSG. We're gonna sit down here and act as if Borussia Dortmund didn't nearly come back against FC Barcelona.
No, I'm not.
That's not a weakness on the side of Barcelona. Are we going to act like that?
You're taking it to another extreme. I've not said that we can't beat them, but the way you're saying that we'll slap them up, we don't fear them, I think is over-exaggerating the situation. I don't think they're as easy as you're describing it. That's what I'm saying. Can we win? Yes, we can. The defense can get got up. PSG's defense can get got up. You know what I'm saying? Barca's defense can get got up. I've seen Benfica this season scoring 4 goals against them. Benfica. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that the defense can't get past it, but at the same time, yeah, let's not go on like Barcelona are some idiots or they ain't got no European pedigree or that Hansi Flick isn't a bad boy manager. you know, or they haven't got individuals that you would take at Arsenal. We'll take Yamal at Arsenal. We'll take Lewandowski at Arsenal. We'll take Rafinha at Arsenal. We'll take Pedri at Arsenal. They've got ballers. Let's not act like as if they're no threat. And I think the way that you put it across, like, oh, we'll slap them, we don't fear them, I think is an exaggeration of what they actually have as a team. I think the way that they play and the individuals that they've got and the manager that they've got, which is levels above our manager, is something to be feared, bro. Yeah. I don't think it's as easy as we're just going to slap them.
Ancelotti is predominantly in people's heads and people's mind the most legendary manager European football has ever seen, and Mikel Arteta will probably be the reason why he's going to be sacked immediately after the Copa del Rey cup game.
But he's old now,
I mean, put perspectives into what you're saying. I mean, you can say this Barcelona coach. You can say that this Barcelona coach is miles ahead of Mikel Arteta. I agree. I want that guy out of the football club. Let's get that correctly. But again, it would be disingenuous for you to say he's miles ahead of him when you've just seen what Mikel Arteta has just done to predominantly, in my own opinion, the best manager European football has ever seen. And at least the most prolific.
Tony, do you not agree?
So don't act like that.
Do you not agree? Look, Mourinho once upon a time was the best manager in world football. Conte once upon a time was the best manager in world football. Once upon a time, sometimes they come to the end of their cycle, bro. Like Ancelotti is coming to the end of his reign, bro. Like, he's old now. You're acting like he's 45. The guy is in his 60s, almost nearing 70, bro. Like, let's have some.
In his 60s, but last season they won the goddamn European title. I mean, you guys want to? I mean, you see how your statements have been exposed. You like to move the god whenever you feel like it suits you, and it's not like that. Call a spade a spade. I don't like Arteta. I want him out of the football club, but call a spade a spade. He disgraced Ancelotti in 2 legs. Let's don't do this. He did it, and I want that guy out of my club. He did it. Saying the truth won't kill you. Just say it.
I'll ask you a question, please. I'm going to move sport because I know you.
All these European teams can't deal with Arsenal because Arsenal in the European setting is more organized. We have more structure. And we don't play week in, week out, so they don't know what's getting at them. We're without the striker and we're heading in.
All right, Tony, let him go. Go on, Dej.
Look. Sometimes when I'm dealing with Tony, I realize that you have to help him. And so you have to give other examples to make the point. So I'm going to give Tony another example to make the same point. Tony, did you ever watch tennis?
Yeah, sure. I love tennis, of course.
So you know about Rafael Nadal, you know about Roger Federer?
Of course.
Okay. Did you ever
definitely
when they were at their peak, did you ever think they could be beaten or anyone could compete with them?
No.
Yeah. And then
no.
Djokovic came, yeah?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Now Djokovic, Nadal,
Federer
are gone. A new breed of tennis players are coming to.
In between that, Andy Murray came in too.
Yeah.
Couple of slams
too. A new breed of tennis players coming to the fore. The point I'm saying is, it's very possible that Ancelotti is Roger Federer at the end of his tennis career, and we're now getting a young Arteta who may go on to become a brilliant manager, by the way. He's stepping up to the fore. We're getting young managers now, like Amorim is young, Arteta is young, Nagelsmann's look young, like even the Brighton manager, young, Iriola, young. Yeah, these are young managers who are making a name for themselves. Point being, yes, Arteta is on his way up. I believe Arteta is on his way up, even though you guys want him out. And Ancelotti is on his way out. That's not an unreasonable statement. But for you to use last season as a barometer as to why it's such an amazing thing. Real Madrid has been dusty in their league all season, bro. It's been dusty, and maybe Mbappe has also had an impact. Playing Mbappe by fire, by force has also been their Achilles heel. Let's just be real. So, bro, the only thing we're saying here, and I think you need to, the level of disrespect that you're giving to the European teams is quite frankly disgraceful. the fact of the matter is,
But Deji, you've also disrespected European teams.
I've disrespected.
You've also disrespected European teams.
No,
I mean, you've done that. Last season you did.
My thing is
this season you did.
My thing has always been that the Premier League is the best league in world football. You've never said that.
I've always said that.
That's what I say.
I've always regurgitated that fact.
No, so
the Premier League is the best in the world. I still believe that.
I think it's very delusional of you to think that Arsenal have already guaranteed this Champions League. I think that is a very dangerous place to be.
Well, come end of the season when we win the Champions League, I would see how much of that rough talk you have for us. But for now, just chill to the Champions League final when you'll be watching us and the big boys play.
Well,
and if we indeed win it, they just you better be ready. You better be ready.
For you, and we will be.
You better be ready.
Deji, let me ask you a question quickly. Yeah, do you before I bring in Yasser, big up to Yasser. Do you think Spurs have a higher chance of winning Europa than Arsenal Champions League?
Bro, I do, but not for the same reasons. I do, based on the point that Tony said, which is that the caliber of teams that are left in the Europa League, and I'm not disrespecting it, bro, but I'm not being funny, man. You're talking about Man United, Bodo Glint or Squint, starting with the eyelids, and you're talking about Athletic Bilbao. I mean, bro, like, apart from Bilbao, you can't get it up for any of those teams. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas with PSG, Barca, do you know what I mean? Inter, that is a great opposition. That makes for a great final. Do you get what I'm saying? So the quality of team is why the bookies had Tottenham favourites before the Europa League started and continue to have my club favourites. That doesn't mean Tottenham's going to win it. I'm not disrespecting Bodo, bro. Like, I was scared. And I was grateful to get past Frankfurt. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to come here and start shaking my bum. But I will say, based on the opposition, Tottenham is more likely to get to a final than Arsenal. And that's not unreasonable.
Okay. Same question to you, Tony. Who has a better chance of winning in Europe this season, Tottenham or Arsenal?
Bro, I'll go with Arsenal. Because I will regurgitate this fact again. It's for a reason. I don't respect these European teams. Only European team I respect down there that I think is going to give us any big problem is Inter Milan. And it's due to some reasons. They have organization, they have structures, they have players that can hurt us. They have a good defense, they have a good midfield, and they do have something that we don't have, which is two strikers that could actually destroy us. They have Martinez. They also do have Thuram. They have these things with a solid back. Compactly they defend. In the middle of the park, they have a Mkhitaryan who never dies. They have everything in that particular team that can actually hurt us. That's why I genuinely fear them. But every other team, apart from Inter, bro, they're going to get it. All the Spanish teams, they're going to get it. Any other team, PSG, bro, we've been in PSG. Why people moving the goalposts? They're not the same team. They're quite different right now. Bro, we beat them before. And in this semi-finals, they're coming for another beating. So I'm just waiting. And it might not be in the style and fashion we beat Real Madrid, because they have far more structure, far more bite. They defend compactly a little bit, but I do see the holes. I do see their weaknesses. And they're always out of position in the middle of the park. Most of them are actually they actually rely a whole lot on Dembele, and I think Dembele can be closed down by our defense. Bro, I trust our defense for the first time. For the first time in a long time, I really do trust our defense. And of course, you can say anything you want to say about Kivior. He's coming, he's replaced Gabriel. Our back four looks impenetrable. It looks impenetrable. We had a Real Madrid which had individual players. Let me talk, because you will come in and Northside will put mute button on me. But you're talking when I'm talking and you finish talking. Bro, this is the kind of unfair refereeing Arsenal gets all season. And when I talk about it, Northside would say, oh no, it's not a referee decision. But I mean, it's clear to see the bias down here. I mean, I get it. I mean, they just it's time for me to talk. And then Northside will say, hey, let me mute Tony's button first. Let me mute his button first. I mean, the refereeing decisions, I mean, it's even shown here. Come on, but I like it all.
You gotta let him land. You gotta let him land. You gotta let him land. Then you land.
It's more what I'm saying. I don't even know. I don't even know if Tony can hear me because he doesn't flinch. He doesn't move.
That's true.
Northside moving like he mate.
I can hear you, man.
Like you don't even react to anything. So I'm not sure if you hear me or not.
Hey, Ravi, stop that. Stop that. Stop that. You do that on my shows. This guy, Ravi, does these things on my shows. Ravi, stop that. Stop that. Don't do that again. I beg you. Everybody's hearing me. You consistently do this thing to me on many shows. Don't do that again. Don't do it again, Ravi. Please, I beg you.
Now, go on. Continue, Tony.
He does that all the time. So he doesn't want me to go to shows. That's what that guy does. Ravi, don't do that again. Please stop.
Do you know what it is, Tony?
So,
every time
Northside, you were saying something.
Every time you talk, Tony, there's a crackle. There's a crackle.
But it's not so huge.
I don't know what mic you're using. It is true. There is a crack when you talk. I don't know if it's your mic. I don't know if have you got like wireless mic, or if you've got anything you can plug in will probably be perfect. Like one like this, or if you've got like, I don't know if you've got one like that. Because every time you talk, it's crackling. It does crackle.
Yeah, I do. Even on my own, I think it's the software. You're using new software. I use StreamYard most of the time. So you need to adjust. There's some stuff I think you need to adjust on this software you're using. I do shows on my channel, and the voice is okay.
If you go to
even Deji had problems with the audio when the first time he came.
If you go onto mic,
why are you bringing me into this? We're not the same, bro.
No, you had a problem. I mean, you set yours. You set yours up. I need to set it up. So it's a new software he's using. I use StreamYard and my voice is always good.
I don't know. Everyone else's mic doesn't crackle, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
This is Tony signal.
Okay, but let's keep going, man.
Instead of just taking the advice, he wants to put himself in the fire burning. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do.
Tony, man, I'm telling you, Tony, this is going to be a long season for you if we don't win the Champions League. After everything you've said, I can't lie. Like the way you've been, I know you got it right against Real Madrid, but you know what I mean? There's a lot of question marks on this team still. Like people make it seem like, oh, Real Madrid done, yeah, everything's sorted. There's still a lot of question marks. I get why you're more confident after the Real Madrid results.
Can I
go on.
There's one thing though. Tony's chest has got bigger because he came out to say that, you know, Arsenal will slap up Madrid. I just want to qualify that Madrid has not been great this season. Yeah, can we just accept that?
Yeah.
Tony, do you accept that?
He said it himself. Tony said
that wasn't what I heard. It wasn't what I heard from Lee Gunner. I mean, they didn't say these things. They all said we're gonna get smacked up. I mean, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. We made them look that way. On a given day, Real Madrid smash up some certain team. But we made them look that way. They had no answers for us. So don't bring this narrative that Real Madrid suddenly. I mean, almost everyone in this chart said that they're going to smash
No. You're not going to do that. No. Because when we had the Real Madrid fan here, you were talking about all the clubs that slapped them up. You said Valencia slapped them up. You said that they've been losing teams like Real Betis slapped them up. So don't go on like we made them be like that, because before the game you were saying you will beat them because they've been poor all season. And you were naming off all the teams that slapped them up. So it wasn't just that we made them look that bad. They have been that bad in general. So you can't now just say, oh, no, they've been great. We made them. Yeah, we did make them look bad, but they've been bad. And you were bringing up all the defeats this season. Espanyol, you were bringing up. Real Betis, you were bringing up. So that's a little bit disingenuous of you now saying, oh, they were great. We just made them look. It was both, bro. Let's be real. It was both.
No, it was both. No, I oh my God, not side. No, see, not side. But do you know the difference? Yeah, do you know the difference? It's because it's Real Madrid. Even if they've had bad form, even last season, they lost a couple of games. But even in those seasons, they still ended up becoming champions. At the end of the day, they still knew how to run round the whole deficiencies, round the whole weaknesses, and end up with a title, with a European title. How do you put? I mean, how do you reconcile that? And again, if we play a team that even if they do seem bad in a way, we know they always close up shop and win titles at the end of everything. So if we stop them from winning the title this season, I mean, what does that make us look like? If we ended up the European champions, I mean, we broke them. We beat them up, we smacked them up. Remotada, it never happened. They closed up their roof, it never happened. Bro, you need to give credit to the team. You need to give them credit. We made them look like that. We made them completely look like garbage. Completely like shit.
I've done enough shows.
And we make, bro, and because of our performances would literally lead to the sacking of predominantly, at least, the top guy in European football in terms of coaching.
That's true, but you know what? Yeah, you know what? There's no shame at his age, yeah, being washed when he's won every league title, in every league he's been in, numerous titles, the most decorated manager for Real Madrid. That's not a bad way to bow out. You know what I mean? Every dog has his.
How can you say he's washed when he won the European title last season?
With all of that,
how can you say Ancelotti is washed when he won the title last season? How can you say Ancelotti is washed when he won it? Bro, he's the current holder of the Champions League. He just won the Champions League last season. Why is he complete garbage dump this season?
No, listen, he looks like he's past his best. He's past his prime. That's what he looks like from an outsider's perspective. But that's all good, yeah? That could all be true. But guess what? Arteta, go and win the Champions League. Because all this praise that you want for the team and everything, go win it, bro. Because you still can't chat to Ancelotti if you don't win it. Because he's won it multiple times. So we have to win it. This is what I'm saying with the balance of praise and also not making it seem like we've already won the competition. He deserves praise, but we haven't won it yet. And at the same time, there's a reason why you're not confident against Inter. There's a reason why you're saying out of all the teams are Inter, I'm not too sure. Why is that? Because this team is still not proven to you that they're good enough to get over the line. Because the bench and the team as a whole, there's still holes in it. This manager's never proven it to you. So both things can be true. We did well against Real Madrid, but we still got a lot to be proven. You know what I mean? We're going up against PSG. Everything that you cast Real Madrid for, well, they're not having a poor season. They're playing as a team. Their manager's getting the most out of them. The same with Barca.
And can I remind Tony, because he comes with this energy where he's probably I know that by trade he's a scientist, because the level of deflection is borderline disgraceful. But this guy was telling us when Arsenal drew with Everton that the reason why they drew was because they were fully focused on the Champions League. Bro, you're giving me smoke for not producing results in the Prem. You haven't produced anything recently. I swear you drew with Brentford on the weekend. True or false?
DG, stop conflicting Premiership teams with Champions League football. It's not the same. It's quite different. In fact, I would even tell you. Let me answer the question.
Is Brentford better than Madrid?
Then let me answer the question. I fear Arsenal playing Brentford or even an Aston Villa in the semi-final than actually playing PSG. I think we'll slap up PSG and we won't slap up Aston Villa. You know why? Because this team's players, and of course you can laugh. That's how these guys laughed it off when I said we're going to beat Madrid. So, I mean, it doesn't faze me when anyone laughs, yeah? I've even seen top guys laugh and they pick up the phone. I mean, those that have responsibility, they pick up the phone and they tell me, you know what, yeah, Tony, I give it to you. I'm sorry. So anyone can laugh all they want. I don't care. It's not my business. So this is what I'm going to say right here, right now. I even fear us meeting an Aston Villa in a semi-final. I even wanted this PSG. I never wanted Aston Villa to qualify. That's for a reason. We play Aston Villa week in, week out. We know how they play. They know how we play. Yeah? And the manager has gotten some wins over us. Well, with Real Madrid, it wasn't the same. They don't know how we play week in, week out. They only have to watch videos. But Aston Villa know how we play. PSG don't know how we play week in, week out. It becomes a different game altogether. Where Aston Villa don't trust the manager, I don't trust the player. They get amped up when they play against Arsenal. I don't trust them. So, I mean, if you want to throw that perspective away, good and okay, no problem.
based on what you said, Tony, then you only trust this team when the opposition doesn't understand the way we play. As soon as we're figured out, you're not as confident. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that. Where there's an element of surprise, it bamboozles these teams. And these European teams don't know how to handle us, don't understand our structure. Premiership teams, they do understand our structure. They know how we organize. They know we don't have a striker. They know how to handle Declan Rice. They know how to, score goals against the compact defense and break Mikel Arteta's defensive structure. They know how to do it. How can you explain Real Madrid not scoring a goal in the Emirates against Arsenal and against Kivio, who I don't rate? But Brentford can easily open up our defense and score against it.
Tony,
Brentford, and they're not even in Europe. I don't respect that team.
Tony, it's called defensive structure. Just because it's Kivio there doesn't always mean, just because you're losing one player doesn't mean the whole defense crumbles, bro. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason.
I know, but Kivio doesn't have form, coming into to replace Gabriel, I didn't respect him. I don't respect Kivio as a player because he hasn't given me enough to really say I respect him. So for him to come down there and defend properly without conceding against the Real Madrid side, I give him lots of props for that. But again, the Real Madrid should be scoring against us, innit? I was just trying to put the point across why I fear this team rather than even why I fear this Brentford, this Aston Villa, this Everton, rather than all these European teams. It wasn't easy for Real Madrid to even get past us or score a goal. The goal that they scored was gifted to them by Saliba. If not, they won't score a goal. But Brentford easily opened our defense and scored a goal against us. They know how to operate against us. That's why I wanted to just bypass all these Premiership teams. And the Spurs have been regurgitating this fact where it went through people's heads. European football is in a downturn. He said this last season. I do agree, Deji, I'm not like you. I'm a honest guy. When I see something you say that's true, I regurgitate that fact. You said that, and that's true. So don't sit down here and act as if you've not disrespected these European teams. In fact, my disrespect for these European teams is even more. If you're not an Inter Milan, I don't respect you. If you're not an Inter Milan team, I don't respect you. That's the only team I will see now, sit back, relax, and watch because they have the players to destroy us. They have quality strikers that actually get out. They have quality midfield and they defend comfortably. So any other team, I'll face them. I disrespect them.
That means then your energy should be. I did a show earlier with Northside and I said it's a London team. Yeah, and yes, I came on. That means if my theory is correct and the European teams are dusty, we are looking at all trophy winners this season, is it not? So why do you think Tottenham won't win the Europa League then?
Because your team is just cursed, bro. I'll be real.
Well,
exactly. Good. I get a defense from one.
My club team cursed in Europe as well. I'll be real. Like we ain't done it.
No. So you know how it is. Tottenham's cursed overall, and they're cursed in European thing. You get it? Yeah. So it's a similar thing. He's gone.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yasser's grinning teeth. Yeah, but he's the one that's going to be cooked the most if you don't win it, bro.
Do you know what? I'm the only one.
I'm calm, bro. I'm the only one. Keep trying, bro. I'm playing a team that I don't even know how to pronounce their name, and I've been to Sweden, blood. You know what I mean? So,
yo, Dej, what did you think of Chelsea's last game, bro? Because they lost, bro, 2-1, and he's been quiet.
Nice one, Northside. Nice one. Yes, sir, TV.
Let's move.
You're now in your exam. Excel in your exam.
I like the
Excel.
One of the things that I'm trying to learn on these platforms is how do you disassociate what you feel about a team with how you feel about an individual.
Yeah.
Now, Yasser's my dog. Like, this is my bro. Like, just like how you're my bro, just like how Tony's my bro.
Yasser's man.
But then when I think about Chelsea, bro, I just think they are crap, bro. Like, they're really rubbish. And I said to Yasser, and listen to this. I said to Yasser, he tried to poo-poo it. I remember the show. He was in his car on the phone, and he tried to poo-poo. I said, Yasser, bro, could it be that Tottenham's is the reason why you man had a good start. And he was like, nah. It's not that, Dej, Maresca, blah, blah, blah. I've been proved right. The truth of the matter is the reason why Chelsea had a good start to the season is because they were still riding off the energy of Pochettino. Now that Maresca's fully got his hands on that team, they are dust. To lose to that team at home yesterday is one of the most disgraceful things I've ever heard in my... It would have not been so bad if it was away, because you could say, you know what, maybe the weather was cold, maybe it was minus there, and they've just come from...
It was raining, Dej. It was raining. Let's not forget it's been raining.
It was raining.
Bro, who you free, man? You need to allow me, bro.
This
You know,
show-
leave me alone, blood.
I would the season start now. I'm convinced Chelsea. I hope they keep Maresca at the end of the season. I hope you keep him.
And I hope you, man, keep Ange.
You, man, are finished.
Yeah, but I'm not singing on my watch-alongs, though. And if I'm currently six, Deji, yeah. And if I double and do 6 + 6 is 12, I still don't get to your position, blood. You know them ones, because I think you're 15th.
No.
You lost more than 53% of your games or something like that. You can't tell me I'm dusty.
But can you? No, you're
Exactly,
let
man.
me tell you
But
this.
that's the point. That's true.
Northside, let me
That's true. That's true. Guys, you know me, I'm shameless. I ask like do we Yasa TV. That's true. That you're shameless for not agreeing to that. That's true. That's grown man talk. It's true.
Let me say this.
Agree to it.
I'll be quiet for 5 minutes.
Don't lie.
I warned Yasa that if you have low standards, you get low results. I warned them. And this is why Chelsea this season and United last season is why I don't shake for minnow competitions. Because when you decided to say we would have won all European trophies, Yasa, I remember you saying that you would have ticked off Champions League, ticked off Europa. This is another tick. In you having such low standards for your club, this is the fruits of your low standards. So how do you feel? Hold that. Imagine looking at... Imagine, bro,
you're starving and you say no to sandwich, bro. You
imagine being on this show and you're the lowest ranked.
Okay, look.
Imagine being on this show and you're the lowest ranked, bro.
Okay, look, Deji. You're starving. You're homeless. I'm offering you a sandwich. You're saying no, blood, because you want steak. How does that work? Your standards are too high.
Yes, sir.
You ain't got no food. I'm giving you a sandwich. You want steak.
Are you on my level right now?
Bro, I'm looking down, bro.
Yes, he got you with that one. He got you with that one. Come on, man. They're European football. They're real European football, bro. I mean, yours was just offshot, you know, something they set up for the little baby.
First time I've been there.
I mean, you know, but
I win it, bro. I don't dwindle. I don't chill there. I don't try it a couple of times. I go there and win it.
Yeah, so you said earlier that you're playing in the semi-final, 12th in the Swedish league.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro! They're getting.
Listen though, even your team wouldn't have won that competition, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Come on, you can't. It would have been a struggle for you,
bro. I'm being real, bro. Like you got banged at home by Liga Warsaw.
We didn't get banged. We lost.
Like bro, bro, you got when you're dealing with. And I mean this genuinely. When you're not dealing with a big dog and you lose, it's a banging, bro. Like that's why we call it standards.
Well, the Tamworth thing.
What I would say though is, you know, like I think if you guys win something this season, it's a trophy that you man can celebrate.
Yeah, listen, either way, I think it's just going to be one of them ones. I'm going to lift it like this once and then I'm going to put it in the cabinet. It's not something you're going to hear me talk about once I win it.
Oh, I'll be real with you. I wouldn't lift it.
Bro, you haven't lifted anything, bro. You ain't done shoulders in the gym in ages. You don't, bro. You get the trophy. It's like picking up the forehammer, bro.
He's done the 5 kg dumbbells, yeah.
You know when they pull the forehammer.
Deji was just waiting for you to just get into that spot, and you got into it. Oh my days, bro. You shouldn't have said anything. I've worked with Deji a lot of times to know how to step up, bro. Bro, you don't say anything. Don't answer it.
I was talking about a lift, you know.
Look at the thing she got into. Bro.
Your whole team needs a flipping BBL, man.
Oh my days.
Must have been the injection thing. I don't know.
Lift it? Oh my days, bro.
I can't lie. Your whole club needs a Kardashian BBL. You're talking about I wouldn't have a little cup lift.
No. You know what they need? You know, they need.
Bro, man, there's no going back to that, man.
Been taking blood to pick up the trophy. He needs them thorough.
Yo, but Dej, what's harder?
Oh,
Let me finish above
days,
you
bro.
this season, yeah, or for you to win the trophy? Because ultimately, your season's only better if you win the Europa.
Yeah, no.
They can lose all their games remaining, they still finish above you. That's the thing.
Yeah,
So-
bro. You know, like even though you pose that question and I get it and it makes sense, you're right. The truth is, Yasser in his situation is squeaky bum time because he's legitimately in a position where they're falling out of the top four.
Mhm.
So if they so now for Chelsea, it's Champions League or bust. Yeah, it's really Champions League this season or bust.
Yeah.
And if these men do not get Champions League via the league, then their season is a disgrace, regardless of what Tottenham do. Like really and truly, when you contextualize it, which is Tony's word, when you put context on Chelsea, for them not to get Champions League football, despite the fact they've given us an extra space, meaning that it's not even top four, it's top five, with the money that they've spent, there is no way Yasser can banter me. Like he really can't, bro. Like really and truly. If you don't make the only way he can banter me, if somehow, some way, Chelsea make Champions League and Tottenham flop. But that's it. And actually, if Tottenham win the Europa and this brother somehow gets Champions League, I can still banter you, Yasser. That's the truth. And I think that's where you're faced, regardless of whether you win the Europa Conference League or not. Even if you win that trophy, no one's gonna like I told you. If a Tottenham player lifted that trophy, I'll switch off my mic, bro. I'll walk out the stadium, bro. Like I don't expect any Chelsea player to lift it up. Like just acknowledge.
No, but let's be real though, Dej, yeah. Even though I get what you're saying, yeah. You man were shameless with the Audi trophy, though. The Audi trophy, you man.
Nah, bro. You know what it is? I'll be real with you.
Audi trophy.
I be real with you.
Did you actually mention the Audi
After the one.
Don't lie to me.
Northside is mad, bro. Northside is mad, bro.
No, you don't know the reason about it. You don't know the truth behind the Audi Cup.
I didn't know the truth about the Audi Cup.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, you went and got an
Did
Audi.
you have mentioned the Audi Cup, bro?
You went and like, yo.
Can I give you the point?
Oh, my days, bro. Audi Cup.
Yeah, my foot was the Olympics in that. You know what I'm saying? My foot was the Olympic gold in that.
Can I give you the truth behind the Audi?
Oh, my days.
No Tottenham fan has told you the truth. You know Aldi paid Tottenham P's, yeah? Do you know like on one of the things
it's like Real Madrid where they give you the cars and stuff like that for the players. Yeah.
So one of the things that we have to do with Aldi is every once a month we have to do like a kind of player where they drop the player home in one of their Audis. Bro, it's bigger than that, bro. If we didn't lift it, they would have taken it as a par with all the money that they're giving us. That's the only reason, bro. We got standards. But our standards stops when we see the pound sterling. That was it, bro. Like our car park is full of Audi vehicles. I swear.
So you're basically North London Cardi B.
Hmm?
You're basically North London Cardi B.
No. It's a content thing. No. He said he had to win the trophy to keep the content going.
Let me Tottenham is
But Yasser TV. Yasser TV. On a more serious note, I mean, of course, it's good to do laugh and batter. I do that. I don't like doing all this technical stuff. I can do technical stuff, but I just like that. I mean, it lifts me up. But to be very sincere with you, let's talk seriously. You have to be very, very careful when you're stepping up to Deji Spurs with this one, because I mean, even if he threw little shades and banters down there, there's an element of truth with what he's saying. I mean, let's go back to the league. Yeah, I mean, you need it's go or bust. You need that Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in order for you to qualify for the Champions League, looks a little bit bleak, innit? You have Liverpool to face this season. I mean, remaining 8-9 games. I mean, you still have to face Liverpool, Newcastle. Which other games do you see have?
I think
Nottingham Forest, does that ring the bell?
This is
The
a
top
very
three,
bad
the
run.
top three apart from
Beginning.
Arsenal. That rings a lot more bigger bell, innit? So if, I mean, literally, if you don't win these games, you don't qualify for the Champions League. Your team, not my team, have actually outspent, yeah? Last season, 2 seasons ago, bro, you spent over £1 billion refurbishing that team. So, I mean, I hear you for what you say. I hear you for what you stand for. I do respect you as a person.
Yeah.
But my brother, man,
Yeah.
if you don't win this hard games coming up, there's no Champions League football for you. Next season, man.
But they would have stepped up to Europa.
I might buy hard when that Champions League money doesn't come true.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing for me, innit? Like, right now, I said it before as well, yeah. It's the whole Champions League thing right now feels like it's based on hope, innit? If you look at the results, if you look at the players that I mean, if you look at the form that those teams are on currently and compare it to our form, we should have beaten Ipswich, innit? So that was not a good result, and that we could have been 1 point behind, I think Nottingham Forest or something like that. So it's not a good position to be in. And we knew this, and this is why we needed to win some of the games that we lost, especially in that bad run that we had, innit? Not strengthening in January and stuff like that all plays into it. A lot of our players are, especially our front line, is out of form. And we've seen that yesterday against Legia Warsaw, whatever that team scored, bro. You get me? So I didn't even watch. I watched only 45 minutes of that game yesterday. I didn't watch the full game. I watched the second half, and that's it. I was that confident that we were going to go through, and I didn't care whether we won or lost because it's a knockout competition, bro. Like when you look at those games, especially that we're also trying to get into the top 4. The way I'm looking at it is, we need to get. I cared more about the performance. You get me? And we conceded goals in moments. It wasn't necessarily the performance that was poor, in my opinion. I think, you know, we conceded a penalty because the goalkeeper came out and tried to clear the ball, but ended up taking out the player's legs. You know what I mean? And then we conceded another corner. I think it was from a corner. So, yeah, I think we need to get top 4. My aim was I've spoken to Northside in October when I first came on the channel, and I said to him, it has to be top 4 and a trophy. Do you get what I'm saying? That's my aim. And if he can't get that, then you have to sack the triplets, which is the manager and the 2 clowns at the top, innit? The sporting directors, bro. There's already some rumors saying that we can get Lewis Campus and all that. Hey, listen, I don't care, innit? If you get rid of these 2, man, that's it. Because if you look at our team, we only need a couple of players, but it's also players that are very important in a squad, yeah, like a spine. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not like we just need one player over here and that's it. No, the players that we need are important to the spine of the team. Yeah. So for me, yes, the goalkeeping situation is quite easily solved because obviously Hondo from SWAT is going to go. So we're going to end up getting, I think it's Petrovic or something. That's probably going to come back with the season that he's having in France. There's already players that are coming in that you guys not going to see us buy. We've already bought them. They've been out on loan and they're going to come in the summer. Do you know what I mean? Our issue is just we need to make sure that we need by hook or crook get this top 4 or top 5, whatever people want to call it. And we just have to beat the teams. But I can't come here with confidence and say we're beating the teams, bro. Palmer's out of form. Jackson's hitting posts instead of the net. There's all these things. Do you get what I'm saying? So...
Look, yes, sir. You make
and you guys don't even run the risk of even losing players because you signed those players on slave contracts anyway. So I mean, you're not gonna be thinking of losing Tony Cole Palmer because he can't get Champions League. I mean, he's signed to a slave contract. You have lots of players on slave contracts, so that will be a problem. Am I correct in saying that?
Slave contracts. Slave contracts is
not signed. They're signed on slave contracts. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, this is not clown circus. I mean, let's speak facts, yeah? They're all signed on slave contracts. I mean,
it's not a
it's
slave
fact, innit?
contract, my brother.
8 years, 7
look,
years,
look,
6 years.
Tony.
Those are slave contracts.
Hold on a minute. You know them ones. How you going, Deji? Big
Love
up,
man,
Deji.
them. I have to bounce.
Big up, Dead, man. Big up, Dead. Shout your channel out quickly and let them know.
Big up, Deji, man.
Subscribe. Tony will chat. Yasser will chat. North will chat.
Yeah.
Love, bro. Love.
Yeah.
Big up to Dead, man.
Big ups, man.
Deji's gonna do Zay's job today. Anyway, big up, man. Them, yeah. Listen, Tony. Yeah, it's not slave contracts. You're looking at it the wrong way. The reason they're giving them these amount of the length of the contract is two ways. Yeah, to protect their asset. How many players do you know that are running down their contracts and just getting a move like Trent? If he's on a 6-year contract, he's not running his contract down anytime soon. And you can also still demand money for the player before he leaves. They put him on what they call a base wage. So let's say a player is on 90k a week. This is what he's getting. He can only earn more money the better he performs and the team performs. It's a performance-based contract. Do you get what I'm saying? I know because remember, the whole narrative was 9 years, 10 years contracts. I understand it makes it look bad, but the more I looked into it, it's performance-based. So if we get into the Champions League, a lot of players will get their wages will increase. Yeah. Do you get it? If Jackson scores X amount of goals, he'll get the bonus. So they can earn more money, which also in terms, it's not like you just getting 200k a week, 300k a week, like, I don't know, your favorite guy, Havertz, and he knows 4 years, I'm getting paid. But also the player knows he's getting that security in terms of, okay, it's a 9-year contract, but I can't get more than this unless you get it. And if they don't like the player, they know they can just move him on. And dividing that wage over the X amount of years, I forgot what they call it again, but it's that dividing the wages. What do they call it again, Northside? When what's that thing called when they pay the wages over X amount? I mean, if they pay the players, you know, when you buy a player and you split
value. They pay the value over the
I forgot. There's a name for it. Either way, when they do that, they only when they sell the player, they can sell him for book value, bro.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah. So
I get that. I mean, you just have to take a pop at me. You just have to take a pop at me with that Kai Havertz thing. Yeah. I mean, I've said this Kai Havertz thing time and time again. It's been taken out of context. Okay. And Northside was so quick to, put me on the posters, to roast me at the time, because at the time me and Northside, I mean, Northside was giving it to everybody at that time,
So you're mentioning a player, you're constantly mentioning a player as if he's been mistreated, when in reality he's not lived up to the price tag and the wages that he's on. He's not. You can't be the highest paid player at Arsenal and you're not as a striker, and you're not even hitting 20 goals a season. That's not value for money, bro. It's not. Yeah. And when I'm seeing Moreno come in, that's not even a pure striker, and offering me more out of position is exactly what I'm talking about. He's not worth the hype around him, and that's the thing. Can he score a couple of goals? Yes, he can. So can most strikers. But the protection around this guy, I never saw it for strikers like Giroud, that I think are better, bro. They turn up in bigger games, they score more goals during the season, and yet I never saw this protection. So I get that you were with that, Kai Havertz shouldn't be the only one being slandered or criticized. But bro, like, no one said it's only Kai Havertz though. But at the same time, other players aren't protected the same as Kai Havertz. I don't see the same protection for Kai Havertz. I saw people saying that Partey was over the hill. Over the hill. Partey is one of our best midfielders, bro. If anyone needs protection, it's Partey, bro. Why ain't our fan base crying about Partey, bro? This guy delivers, in big games. This guy is more consistent than Kai Havertz, and yet people are happy to just see him go out of the door for nothing. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's the inconsistencies. Man, we're talking about, let's play Trossard in the bro. Ethan has been more effective than flipping Kai Havertz. Ethan's been more effective, bro. He's had better games this season, and he's only just come through. So, I said, I just think that some players are just way too protected, and it's not. The value they bring to the team isn't warranted. Like, we will protect Saka because more time Saka turns up. Do you get me? We'll protect Gabriel Saliba because more time, they don't let us down. Like, your performance has to match why your fan base feel that way about you. And I just feel like Kai Havertz is just a favorite. And now that Moreno's performing, people ain't crying about Kai Havertz because the true feelings are coming out. He's not all that. You get me? He's not all that. We miss Saka. when he was away, and we missed him when he came back.
No, not that I get you, man.
His quality.
I get
the
you.
narrative changes around Zinchenko, Kai Havertz, Odegaard, because these guys aren't as good as the protection that this fan base give them. They're not as good as that, bro. And that's the problem that I have. You want to call out Kai Havertz or the bias when people are cussing out Kai Havertz? On this channel, we cuss out everyone. You don't perform, we'll cuss you. I like Ethan, but on the right, as a right winger, he's not been effective enough for me. Not been effective. I prefer him as a number 10. So I'll cuss you regardless, bro. Declan Rice this season's been up and down, but recently he's been great. So if you're playing well, I will back it, innit? Kivior is a great example. I don't like Kivior, but Kivior's given me reason to be like, do you know what? I don't need to cuss him because right now he's performing. You drop the standards, then I'm going to be on to you. Do you get me? That's all it is, bro. But there's too many players here, like Odegaard and Havertz in particular, that can drop stinkers. Martinelli, another one. In particular, these three can drop stinkers, week in, week out, and get protected. When Martinelli was dropping stinkers, let's keep playing him. When Trossard was dropping stinkers, he's better on the bench.
Exactly, Northside. I mean, that's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear. And I give it to you. You're correct. It's all I wanted to hear. See, and again, Yasser, you've taken this out of context. The thing I explained it to Northside. That was just clear. You didn't hear everything. It didn't start from the beginning.
Oh, yes.
At the time, we had Gabriel. At the time, we had Gabriel Jesus. He's one of our highest earners. No, Yasser TV. Just look at this scheme, Yasser TV. We have a Gabriel Jesus who has been in this team. Week in, week out. No goals. He doesn't help us out. For 2 seasons, nothing. And he's always injured. He has given nothing to this team. Okay, if I tell you that Kai Havertz have outscored him than any goals he has given to us in any of the seasons he has been with us. But Kai Havertz have outscored any of all those seasons he's been here. Those are the perspective I was talking about. And I was saying that, everyone wants Gabriel Martinelli. Don't allow his recent form fool you. Throw away his form in this Real Madrid game. I'm talking about throughout the season. That was when I made that statement. He has been dragged this season. He hasn't given us anything. But instead, people still put him in our first 11. They want him to play again, and again. And we have Kai Havertz at that point in time, who was our highest goal scorer. So I was like, hey, why is the hate all on this guy? Martinelli dishing out stinkers. Trossard isn't scoring goals.
Listen,
all these guys are giving stinkers. Gabriel Jesus, one of our highest paid players, is dishing out stinkers. No one is talking about these people. So that was why I was so vexed at the time. So that's the context. I'm not in no way. I never wanted. If Northside is very truthful, Northside, you remember when me and you were doing shows when we both said we need Ivan Toney. Isn't it what we talked about? Ivan Toney to come to the football club. That's what me and you wanted at the time.
You did, but my problem wasn't that you were calling out players. My thing was that you were making it like it's an agenda against Kai Havertz. I don't really feel like there's an agenda against Kai Havertz, bro. I don't think that's the player that there's an agenda in terms of the fan base. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the way you worded it made it seem like, we need Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz being treated unfairly, when in reality, he's not been good enough. He deserves criticism.
Everyone calling him a donkey, this, that. But it's your highest goal scorer. Okay, good, no problem. Now that he's been crossed, who is your highest goal scorer till now? Even when we've even progressed to the Champions League. Yeah, that's it, Kai Havertz. So, I mean, what I was just trying to say is the best among the bunch of useless players we have down there. That's what I was saying.
Hold on, Tony. You're talking about, but who's our highest scorer, When we went up against Bayern Munich, did this guy deliver? Because Moreno's delivering in both legs.
No, it's not about his delivering. Okay, it's about who has scored goals for you right now out of that bunch.
No, you're really happy right now because we're performing in the Champions League. Guess what? Kai Havertz doesn't perform for us in the Champions League week in, week out. Big games, he goes missing. So Moreno turns up. He doesn't. So it's all good turning up at the start of the season, but when we really need you, don't turn up. He didn't turn up for us in the cups. He didn't turn up for us in Europe. He don't turn up for us in the league to get over the line. Moreno, I can't lie. He turned up in both legs. First game against Real Madrid, he scored the 3rd goal. The second leg against Real Madrid, he has 2 assists. I don't see Kai Havertz performing like that. So you can talk about overall goals, But then Moreno turns up when we need him to turn up. He actually influences the game and actually does something.
And I like Moreno more than him. I'm not idolizing Kai Havertz in any way. I was just saying at the time he was getting more abuse when I was seeing that more abuse should be going to a Martinelli. He's not. He hasn't improved.
No,
he only scored 15 goals to go. More criticism and scope should go to Gabriel Jesus. Kai Havertz have outscored him, and he's not getting the kind of abuse he's getting. That's what I just said.
Nah, Tony, bro. He's not on the same money, bro. You've been bought in, yeah? Martinelli didn't cost us 65 M's. Martinelli's not on 260K a week. With that money comes big expectation, bro. Yeah, and when you don't live up to the expectation, you will get cussed. The same with any other club. If Cole Palmer doesn't perform, Chelsea fans will get onto him because there's an expectation on him. He's one of the talisman for Chelsea. The same thing with Man City. When Haaland ain't performing, he gets cussed out. Do you get me? Like when you're the big player, when you take the big wages and you're the big superstar, or you're supposed to be the big superstar, that comes with expectation. And when you don't perform, you will also get the other side of the coin. These men love taking the props. Okay,
I hear that.
But when it goes sideways, you're also going to take the corner as well, innit? That's just how it goes, bro, in football. Don't take the big contract if you ain't going to live up to the contract, innit? And he ain't lived up to the contract, bro.
He hasn't, and I completely agree. I completely agree. No issue with that. But again, we've moved past this Kai Havertz thing, you know. I don't like him as a striker. Again, we've moved on from it because I mean, he's not the kind of guy I want to be leading the line of my team. No. All I was just saying was that it was better than the crap we had because none have even outscored him till date, and he's injured. He hasn't played how many games for us, and no one has stepped up in the team to actually outscore him. So it kind of, in a way, I'm kind of like, okay, it's true. Martinelli haven't outscored him this season. Martinelli haven't outscored him this season. Trossard hasn't outscored him this season.
Yeah,
definitely. Gabriel Jesus hasn't outscored him this season. So why does it get the donkey nomenclature? And no one calls Martinelli a donkey. Don't be fooled by the.
Hold on, because you're being disingenuous now. Yeah. First of all, yeah, Martinelli doesn't play as a striker, even though he's dead at finishing. Fair enough, you can have that one. But he don't play as a striker, innit? So let's compare him to the strikers. Like their main job is to score goals. If Moreno was starting as a striker at the start of the season, he would have outscored this donkey Kai Havertz. Yeah. Second of all, Saka hasn't outscored him because he's been injured for a period in the season as well. So the only one that's really going to outscore him, Trossard has been inconsistent. Martinelli's been inconsistent. But as a striker, you're saying he's the best that we have. Well, we can clearly see he's not the best that we have. He's not. If Kai Havertz is fit right now, he doesn't get into the over Moreno, so he's not the best that we have. He don't start. He don't get into the
how sure are you? How sure are you? You've just said he's the most protected. You just said he's the most protected player. Why wouldn't he start over Moreno by this manager?
Who?
Based on form.
You just said that Kai Havertz is the most protected player. I mean, you said Kai Havertz is the most protected player in this team. So what makes you think that this Bozo manager won't put him or field him before he even fields Moreno?
Because he's got because the way the players
proven to score goals both for country and club.
Bro, the way the players playing right now, he can't justify dropping him. It's the same thing with Calafiori. When Calafiori came in, he wanted to start him. He got injured, then Skelly comes up. So the way Skelly's playing, you can't drop him, bro. The way that Moreno's playing, you can't drop him.
Definitely.
You can't drop him, bro. He knows he's going to
Yeah, sure.
So he has his favorites here, but until he's...
No, it's just because he said he's the most protected player. I mean, the most protected player. Come on, man. I do disagree with you. The most protected player in this team is Martin Odegaard. I do think Martin Odegaard is the most protected player in this team. That's who I think is the most protected. Week in, week out, dishes out nonsense for this team. He's a passenger clearly in this team, but he still plays week in, week out. He gained so much protection. Those are the kind of guys we should be calling out. Gabriel Jesus, we should be calling out those kind of people at the time. But again, I agree to be wrong. Maybe I was wrong in that argument. No problem. He's not the kind of guy I want leading the line. The kind of guys I want leading the line is Victor Osimhen, Victor Gyökeres. These are the assassins I want. And trust me, guys, I don't want a killing Mbappe in my team. I mean, not after the stinkers we've seen. Northside, I mean, you know, there's one thing about you, man. World class. I mean, I can't wait for the shows when you do those things, yeah. What I mean, that word world class, and do you know any other words that I remember that you stress so much?
This guy,
I can
I'm asking, yeah, for the clip.
war chest. War chest. Oh my days. I can't wait till when Northside says those kind of phrases. Those are serious cut phrases. Whenever he says it, it's like my lordship. War chest. World class players. I mean, you saw your world class players, Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. You saw that, right? I don't think you want Kylian Mbappe in here this football club, innit? I mean, I've heard it from you, and see, guys, I respect Lee Gunner. Guys, don't get me out of context. He's someone I really, really respect.
Yeah,
but,
you don't end up.
I mean, the guy I've really respected have told me that we should actually get Camavinga. Guys, you know I'm an ardent listener to Lee Gunner's show. I don't miss his shows. I love his shows. I like the guy. And he has said we should get in a Camavinga rather than a Declan Rice. So right now, I would want to see which player he would want. A player who would step up in big matches like Declan Rice, or a Camavinga who would get frustrated and get sent off.
Tony.
So, I mean,
hold on. Declan Rice is done well. Yeah, we're not going to take that away from him. He played well in the last couple. How about you check out whether he's currently on form or it's actually him? So if you keep watching him and he keeps dropping these performances, we can say, okay, he's on that level. You can't base it on 2 games, bro. 2 games are not going to tell you if he's better than Camavinga or not. When Camavinga's been doing it for time. Do you get what I'm saying? It don't make sense to me personally, because I've seen the low level of Declan Rice in the Euros and that, but I've also seen what I've just seen recently where Rice has stepped it up. So I'm not going to all of a sudden say because of 2 performances, thank you very much, Rice is world class. I can't do that, bro. I can't mention him with the people.
Nah, but he has won the same competition your team is actually going for. He's actually an European winner. I mean, you've totally forgotten that Rice has actually won the title that you are actually in. So there's no how you can disrespect that. What he has done in the competition you're actually playing for right now.
Rice's CV.
You know, he's a European winner. I mean,
Camavinga's CV then. The 2 things don't make sense. You're disrespecting Camavinga's CV that is more decorative.
No, did I disrespect? I didn't disrespect him. I didn't. Northside, you know. Oh my God, Northside is the matrix. I mean, you perfectly. No, Northside. No, guys in the chat, give it up for Northside. I mean, he's the best. He knows how to do these things. Even the things I've not said. He's just said it in a calm way. I've not said all these things.
No, what you said, hold on. You said, yeah, what we're going to talk about. I want to see if Lee and Northside are going to say, would they prefer Camavinga over Rice? And then Yasser just said, yo, based on 2 performances, you can't say that this is his level. So he hasn't been consistently playing at this level, which is a fair point. Yeah. And then you said, oh, yeah, but look at Declan Rice CV. I mean, he's won in your competition, Yasser. And then I just said, but Camavinga's won this competition. So what are we talking about?
Let me give you an example. So we had Jackson started the season, was banging in goals. Remember Northside? And we were saying, you know what? Maybe he's turned the corner and he's doing his thing. Then I realized that his form, he was just on a purple patch. Because now he's kind of gone back to what he was doing before. Or maybe even worse, but maybe it's bad form now and he's not doing what he was doing before. But you get the point. The point I'm making is this could be a purple patch and Declan Rice could go back to being allergic to pass forward again, and then he'd go back to where you were again. So instead of overhyping him and trying to put him on the Camavinga level, bro, I'm not going to take anything away from him. I've done well.
I think that in itself is disrespect, man. On Camavinga's level, though. No, that's disrespect, man. Come on, man. Yasser, what are we doing here? Is this a clown circus or what? Come on, bro.
His hand. Like, if
it's not a clown circus. So, I mean, what do you mean by nah? Northside, does that sound cool to you? Does that sound cool to you? I mean, bro, come on, man.
Yes or no?
One guy stepped up in the biggest of stages, one didn't. Come on, man, don't do that. Don't do that.
Over the line.
Don't do that. One stepped up in One stepped up in the UEFA Champions League final. The other one didn't. In 2 legs.
Listen to me. Hold on a minute.
In 2 legs.
Tony. Hold on. One guy's gotten over the line, bro. Yeah? Over the line for major honors, yeah? Numerous times. And the other guy has done two great performances, but is yet to prove himself to get over the line. Both of those things are factually correct.
No, then that's disingenuous. When did he come to Arsenal? When did he get the chance to come to a bigger club to actually compete for the Champions
He's not
League?
on that level. yet.
No, that's not true.
Oh,
No, not sir.
Okay,
That's
okay,
not
okay,
good.
okay.
That's
Look,
unfair.
someone
That
in the
comparison is totally unfair. When did Declan Rice come to a bigger club to get the chance to get to the UEFA Champions League to play, to cook?
Okay.
Come on, man. No, let's don't do this, man. When did he come to a bigger club? He was playing in West Ham. That comparison totally
Yeah,
isn't fair.
but
And you know
he
it.
hasn't achieved what the other guys achieved for you to put him on the same table, mate. This is the thing. And then Oregon Goon said Camavinga has won 12 titles in 3 years, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Putting them on the same level in terms of what they've won isn't really right. It's not right because one just came through the ranks. The other one has been in where he could actually win
okay, cool.
trophies.
So then don't compare him to the
So
guy.
let's be fair.
Yeah.
Don't compare him yet. Because it's too early.
No, we can go with the eye test. We can go with the eye test currently with what they're doing right now.
Yes,
Not
yes,
based
but
on the past,
Tony,
based on what they're doing right now.
Tony, the eye test only works if you got an up-to-date eye. What's it called? Specsavers prescription blood. If your prescription ran out, you don't see what you think you're seeing. That's the problem. But this is the thing. I'm not saying like Declan Rice is bad, innit? But I've watched him in the Euros, and he only really works in the double pivot, bro. He needs someone else that progresses the ball and he can sit and he can do his job, whatever. That's calm. He's always been a good striker of the ball. We knew that when he was at West Ham, when he used to shoot outside the box, volleys, whatever. He used to do some of that half volleys. Remember that, innit, Northside, yeah? We knew that. Whether he could take free kicks or not, cool. That's a different story. But no one really expects their DM to take free kicks. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a good attribute to have, but free kicks are not going to help him in midfield. This is my point, innit? We know that he's limited.
No, but his game against Real Madrid,
when he played next to Kobe Mainoo in the Euros, he wasn't performing, bro. Kobe Mainoo was outperforming him in the Euros. Some players just need someone to hold their hands in midfield. That's how it works. And he's one of them, bro. He only performs really well if Partey's playing next to him. And I've already spoken to Arsenal fans earlier, and they've told me, oh, we don't mind Partey not being there. Bro, what Partey does in that midfield is going unnoticed. It's similar to what like you see that about other teams, yeah, where they have a bad DM, he does the job, he sweeps up, he does everything. But because someone else is doing something else in that midfield, you don't really notice that guy. Do you get what I'm saying? Everyone speaks about Vitinha at PSG, but they don't look at the João Neves, whatever his name is, yeah? He just goes around and does whatever he does. Partey is very important to your midfield. Without Partey, we've seen what Declan Rice does when Partey's at right back. You're seeing the best of Rice because of Partey. This is my point. I'm not saying he can never do it on his own or whatever, but him just being there, he can't handle everything on his own, just lone six. That's just my opinion, bro.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 games that I've seen him do it. And obviously the first game, it was mainly the free kicks that everyone's talking about, him winning the game and stuff like that. But it's like, we talk about what he does on the pitch. I've seen Camavinga do it in the Euros. I've seen Camavinga do it in the World Cups, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Winning things for Real Madrid.
I hear you.
I just think he's way ahead of him. Can Declan Rice eventually catch up and beat him? This is my point. He probably can, but you're talking like they're at the same level just because he's played one competition that was further than him once.
Yeah, I think we need to give it
time. So if Declan Rice goes on to help Arsenal win the Champions League, win the big one, first time in our history we're winning that title, and he has already done Camavinga dirty in the middle of the park. Yeah. Does that change your mind about Camavinga in comparison to him?
For me,
what he can do, considering he has already won an European Cup.
Do it, then we can have that conversation.
Okay, I agree. No, I agree, Northside. I agree.
You know, but yeah, I agree. Listen, big up to both of you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're subscribing to Yassa TV as well. Make sure you're subscribing. You know what I mean? Get my G to 1K. Do you know what I'm saying? Also subscribe to Tony Claude Gunner TV.
I'm gonna
put yeah, man. It's been the first episode of Nutmeg Rush. Hopefully somebody gets an L. We need some L's. You know what I mean? And as soon as someone gets L and it's not Arsenal, you know Tony's not gonna let anyone talk. We're gonna be long for you. You know what I mean? God just here waiting. Yeah, man, big up to the man them. I am gonna go live at 5:30, so just under an hour. Gonna be live again with Flawless about the United game. So big up to everyone that's locked in. We're gonna redirect to rants, Northside Raid in the building, and I'll see you guys at 5:30. Love.